Hello, friends. My name is
Hi,
Groovy,
people.
and welcome to another episode of the YarCrypto late night live show. I'm honored, as always, to have here our friends Sterling. Hello,
Hey guys,
Sterling,
how we doing?
and our friend Legal Talent as well.
How you doing, people? It looks like joining us also on the chat here is we got one of the Pete's and we
One of the
got
Pete's.
Theon as well.
What up? What's up, Theon? How we doing?
Hey, guys, very glad to have you here. So we have a bunch of stuff to talk about today. Hello, Mr. Crypto. How are you doing today? Thank you for coming into the stream. So yeah, we have a lot of good stuff today to talk about. Um, some exciting stuff for crypto is happening, and we have a bunch of things happening in the charts as well. So I think we can start with some TA on BTC.
Yeah.
Um, so I have my chart here. I posted an update a few hours ago, and we were talking about the levels that we have on the daily time frame. What I have here is the 4 hour. So we have our daily levels here as well. Uh, so just to recap, we have been sideways movement, sideways price action for a long time now, between 40, 41, and 30K. And we have our middle range at 35, right? And in between, we can also always do some Fibonacci retracements and go with that. So we have our golden pocket here for the current move on the 32,500 level. We also had the head and shoulders play out that we were following as well. But what's going on right now? So right now we have a bunch of patterns that we can sort of track on this BTC chart. And the first one, and I think a lot of people were missing this one, is that there's a pattern called a rounded bottom or rounding bottom. People call it different ways, but it's essentially something like what's happening here right now. It's almost like a cup and handle that's forming, um, and it signals a bottom of some of sorts for the price. And on my video, I showed it. We have the pattern side here for from Bukowski, and basically this rounded bottom is a chart pattern that indicates a reversal from a downtrend to a uptrend, and this is followed by a extended period of consolidation in a rounded form like this, followed by continuation to the upside. So we may be seeing something like this over here, especially now that we bounced from the golden pocket area that we were talking about. And if this is to happen for the next couple hours, and we actually um, make a move to the upside, then the next area to watch will be the 35K, which is our old level, classic level for the past weeks.
It's
And
interesting to note too, your
yeah,
RSI. If you look at the RSI, it's showing the similar pattern, very clearly. This rounded kind of bottom with the price action.
exactly. Yep. So higher lows on the RSI is showing a little bit more strength. So over here, and this could be bullish for us as well. And talking about the Wyckoff, this is confluent as well because, as you guys know, on the Wyckoff model, considering we are already in phase D, then we have to if we want to follow this model, we have to make a continuation now to the upside. Um, so it's going to be interesting to see if we actually do that.
Yeah, if we get some
But
follow through, there'll be confluence there with the model and this particular pattern.
yeah, and but we need to see some volume coming in this weekend and at the start of the week as well, because the volume so far has been non-existent, very low, especially on this 4-hour candle, the current one. We have
Yeah.
absolutely no volume coming into the market. Um, so yeah, we need to
So
see
the other
some.
thing too, keeping in mind, we are on the weekend, so we
Mhm.
might even see some more consolidation.
True. Yep. Uh, so the sideways movement, if we don't get volume, we can see it continuing from now. But another thing that we spotted today on the charts was this kind of rising channel here. So if we make a line like this and we connect this point all the way up to this swing high right here, and we make the same line at the bottom here from this point to here, we could make the case for a rising channel. Or if we count this current move as a touch, it's kind of narrowing down, and we could see something like a rising wedge forming. So it's kind of in the middle right now. We don't know exactly how to call it, but I'm pretty sure that we are in a sort of channel or triangle of sorts, considering these
Yeah.
touches here.
Actually, Pete's was the one who spotted that pattern today. He sent me
Yeah,
that
thank you,
chart.
Pete.
Yeah, yeah. He
Thank you
was
so much.
And I would
he
actually
sent me a
make,
chart. He was like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And I was like, "Oh, that's like kind of like a rising wedge, rising channel."
yeah.
Yeah.
If I could pull up my chart really quickly,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
I actually have this parallel channel we were talking about, and let me just quickly move here. So I would actually make the argument that a lot of these wicks can be discounted as sort of like fake outs or whatnot. So what I have here is, the channel going from this point and all of this price action over here. I would consider that sort of like trying to break out, but the price getting absorbed. And so this was what I would consider the valid channel, with this being the center line. So at the moment, we are still trading in that range, which is not a bad thing
Yeah,
overall. Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, we are pretty sure it's indeed it's a channel. So with that in mind, keep an eye on the our current support, which is confluent as well with that bottom line of the channel, right?
Yeah.
So
The other
the
thing I have here too, just to make note of, we have the daily moving averages on my screen here, the 50 and the 200. And we are getting, pretty close to it, which ultimately to get back above this moving average would be a real bullish move. But we would want to see them start to flatten out a little bit before that can possibly happen.
Now, which one is the 200 and which one is the 50?
So we got here, the 200 is the one in kind of like teal over here, and the 50 is the one curving down.
Yeah, I know we got rejected from that 200 EMA multiple times. Well,
Yeah.
once on May 20th, I believe, we got
Yeah, it
rejected.
looks like there was a lot of choppy action here between the 20th and the 21st. And then again on the 26th, we got rejected cleanly.
Yeah, and then we didn't make it on that last leg up. We didn't make it up to the 200. Got you.
But as Groovy said, we do need the supporting volume to support any kind of breakout of the zone that we're in currently now.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, so moving on to Ethereum now. I have a chart here that because Ethereum has been behaving itself a lot different from BTC, and we saw some decouple from BTC in the past couple days as well. So our ranges for Ethereum is a little more different than for BTC. We have a lot of spread out ranges here on the daily time frame. The first one being the 2K level, which I've been talking about for the past couple weeks as well. Obviously, our bottom range, do or die, it's 1700s. But if we uh, take a look at our current move here, we are between 2300, which was a resistance area for us, and the 2K level, which we bounced on the current on the daily time frame from today. Um, so right now we are in between a support area and a resistance area, which are those two that I just talked about. Um, so since we bounced from the 2K level once again, it's safe to assume that we may come back into the 2300s and try to test it again. The problem with that would be if we actually make a double top here, because it's happening a lot lately for Ethereum. We had a double top here in this area, and then we had another smaller double top here as well. So if we actually come into this resistance and we make another double top, that would be bearish for Ethereum. Uh, and we could make a case for another double top that I just saw here, actually, here as well. So a lot
Yeah.
of double tops for Ethereum in the past couple weeks. So yeah, keep an eye on the 2300 level, guys, because that's gonna be an interesting one.
The one thing too that I have for Ethereum, again, for the last week especially, I've been kind of touting a little bit of about how Ethereum has been showing a lot more strength compared to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin with the 200 and the 50-day moving averages did have a death cross, is what it's called when those two moving averages cross over. But Ethereum is yet to see that. So overall, we're still pretty bullish on Ethereum, especially given the current, price action from this dump that we had.
Yeah.
And we're trading in between the two MAs. So this level of consolidation is actually not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's interesting as well for us to actually look at the ETH to BTC chart.
Mm.
Um, I have it here on my screen, um, and you can see that in the last couple. This is a daily chart, by the way. In the last couple days, we have been seeing a increase in this ratio. So we had a 11% increase, 12% on the ETH to BTC valuation over the last couple days. So yeah, it's we were bouncing as well on a support line on this area from this uh, local swing low here. So this was a kind of local area of support for us,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's gonna be interesting as well to see because Ethereum actually holding up pretty well against BTC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting because Ethereum doesn't have, like, when you look at the Ethereum BTC pair, it doesn't have as much choppiness price action as the Ethereum USD pair. It's
True.
more of a
There's also the
steady
argument.
trend.
Yeah, there's also the argument going around for, possible secondary alt season at the moment, given how strong some of these coins are performing,
Yes.
versus BTC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Ethereum is a special case, I think, because there's a lot going on with Ethereum, and obviously the use case it's just so massive on the crypto network. Uh, so, and I'm gonna jump a little early here on some on-chain stuff because uh, the supply for Ethereum on exchanges have been decreasing a lot.
Oh wow.
Um, I actually have the
So this
this
is
chart here.
specifically Ethereum on exchanges.
Hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. I just saw this actually, and I thought it would be interesting for us to see, because look at this decline, sharp decline on the balance on exchanges. So this is interesting as well for Ethereum, um, and especially with the news coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Ethereum has a lot of potential still to uh, rise in this market, I believe.
Oh, actually, Theon just posted in the comments. The 3-day candle close is going to happen in 15 minutes.
Yeah,
So
10 minutes now. Yeah,
yeah, so
so
we could keep an eye
it's
on
gonna
that.
be interesting.
One thing too to make note of, for maybe for people who don't understand or realize, the metric that we were just looking at, the Ethereum coming going off of the exchanges, and essentially what this means is going into cold storage, into wallets. That just means that people are hodling. They're planning
Yeah,
on not selling, and so that's overall strength for the asset.
yeah, exactly. And this is not just people swiping coins off the market, right? This is also staking, um, use cases. That there's a lot going on, but the general thing that we can take off from this is that people are basically buying and not selling, right? So yeah, yeah,
They're
Diego
just
was spot
buying it
on
from
there.
the exchange and then taking it off and putting it in cold storage, meaning that obviously they're not going to be selling it back to the exchange anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's another bullish thing. And for finishing off with the TA here, we have the DXY. So the DXY, uh, it was interesting. It's being interesting to watch how it behaves because of the correlation to the crypto market. Um, So we talked about a local double top on this sort of area right here. That didn't happen. The DXY broke this sort of resistance, local resistance here. But there's still a possibility for another double top from this swing high here. So it will be interesting to see uh, the next week for the DXY as well. And if we get rejected by this zone here, what can happen for the DXY in the next couple weeks? If we get a dump, as we were talking about, it may be nice for crypto
Yeah.
and for BTC as well.
But also looking at this chart, the first thing that strikes me on that DXY chart you just had, it's a potential for a cup and handle pattern there that's potentially playing out
Exactly.
on the
So
other time frame that you had.
on the daily,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you see
There you
that
go.
there's a potential cup and handle there playing out,
yeah,
and if it's not invalidated, then target would break that line of resistance.
yeah, the DXY has been interesting because there's a lot of ways we can look at it. Obviously, this is a huge W as well on the weekly.
Hmm.
With a slight higher low here, so this is kind of textbook. And then we have the continuation here. Also, we have this possible double top from this area, and the cup and handle as well. So it's kind of tricky to really tell what's going on, but we just gotta wait and see what's gonna happen with this metric here. And yeah, this level that I drew here, the red line, is a really uh, important level because it comes back to even 2016,
Mm.
um, 2015. So it's a huge, huge, huge level for the DXY. Um, and if we come back even further here, even in 98, 97, it was the level of significance.
Yeah,
So
it's been
yeah,
flipped as resistance and support many times, essentially.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it would be interesting as well.
Wow. So
Yeah.
can we look at just a little bit of some V chain to BTC again? Because we were looking at that chart.
Oh yeah. Right. Forgot. Forgot about it. Chain to BTC. Okay, so we were following this um, chart here on the daily time frame, and what we had was this line here that I don't know why TradingView removed. So this was the metric that we were, the valuation that we were following from this point in last year, and the bounce that we had in this zone uh, currently, right?
Yeah.
Um, and we are seeing the price, the valuation actually kind of steady, be a little steady for now. And what we talked about was we may see some more upside for the next couple of days. I believe we can jump another 10% or 11% uh, before we hit a kind of resistance area in this zone here from this
Yeah.
point,
Now, what does
right?
that EMA look like? Sorry,
Yep. And the EMA that we had,
the
it was the
200.
200, right?
Yeah, the 200.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same thing.
same. We're still above.
The 200 EMA on the daily, strong support here. So yeah, if we go back down, we can assume that the 200 will act as support as well as the price action line that we had. So yeah, this is looking bullish for VeChain for sure. Um, and if we look at the VeChain to USD now, we saw yesterday that it was the 200 EMA was acting as resistance. Uh,
Yes.
we still have that, um, but if we have that 10% move against BTC that I talked about, and BTC continues its sideways movement like it has been, then we could probably see a retake of this 200 EMA on the future.
Nice.
Yep.
So it's interesting how it's acting as resistance on the USDT chart, but on the BTC chart it acts as support.
Yeah.
But it's really not anything to do with the charts compared to each other. It's just a coincidence,
and
essentially.
and partially too, it's because Bitcoin has been kind of going down, and the total dominance has been dropping
Yeah,
market in
Yep.
terms of market cap.
yeah, yeah. As the BTC dominance has gone down, we've seen various altcoins go up on the altcoin BTC pair chart.
Yeah, so although
Yeah.
the USD pairing, they may not move as much, they'll move more compared to BTC.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and what another thing to note is that we're in July now, and in around this time last year, we saw a lot of altcoins see massive moves to the upside in the BTC pair. So, Groovy, if you can just go back in time on this on the VeChain BTC chart,
Yeah.
and if you can just go back in time to the summer of 2020, you'll see that we had a massive move to the upside in the summer of 2020, like July 2020.
July. Yep. So kind of this. Oh,
That
this
that
is
that July,
19
yeah, yeah,
July here,
yes,
right?
exactly. So we
After a
saw,
period of, yeah,
yeah, we saw
Yeah,
a
pretty
movement to the
parabolic
upside.
move.
Yeah, we saw a movement to the upside, then a pullback, and then by the July 20th, around that time, we saw a massive move to the upside, and then we traded into a descending triangle, and then broke out to the upside with that parabolic move that we're seeing since spring. And
yeah,
now that we're seeing a pullback of that parabolic move since spring, what could also happen is that we see another consolidation of support here, reclaiming support of the 200 daily EMA, and then another swing to the upside.
yeah, yeah. VeChain surely is looking very bullish with the use case as well. I see a comment coming in from Theon. A lot of vaults are going to close in the green here. It was a red day for 23 hours, and we have been recovering really well this last hour. I think BTC is trying to close above 34K. Talking about BTC, actually, I forgot something that I had here on the hourly. Actually, uh, I don't usually look at the hourly, but in the hourly, we have this kind of ascending triangle here that we have that I spotted a few minutes ago, and we are trying to break above it. As you guys can see, we have volume spiking as well. So this is a uh, bullish signal for the pattern because we want to see a breakout with volume confirmation, right? Usually.
And there was also a
Um,
cross on the RSI across the 50 line, which is
mhm.
definitely what we want to see in terms of momentum to the bull side.
Yep. So yeah, if you guys are trading right now, this is potentially a interesting pattern for you to look at, and we could see a move like this for the next couple minutes because we're just gonna have the daily close in 1 minute from now. So maybe something like this, close above, retest, continue to the 35K level. So yeah, this is looking nice so far. But I think that's it from for the technical analysis. I don't know if you guys want to talk about
Yeah,
another
Eagle,
coin
did you have
or
another coin that you wanted to show the chart for? Another altcoin?
Yeah, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
okay.
Eagle, if you have any charts, by the way, you can go ahead. Eagle.
Yeah, if you have any charts, if you want to talk about uh,
Oh,
so,
you.
but yeah, if not, then we can move on to our on-chain stuff, which
Yeah,
we have
let's.
some. Yeah, we have something very interesting. Um, right now, which is a metric called the Puel multiple. And some of you may uh, have heard of that. I'll just bring my screen back
It's a
here.
tough one. Puell, Puel, Puel. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think some people call it the Puel multiple,
Mm.
and other people call the Puel multiple. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that to you guys for
Yeah.
interpretation. But yeah, so let's talk about what this actually measures, right? So the PUL or the PUL multiple, it basically is a moving average, a 360-day moving average of values, daily values, and this is actually measuring the entries of uh, minor coins on the market. So as you know, miners usually they have to sell their Bitcoin so that they um, cover costs such as hardware and stuff like that. And when they do that, they increase the liquidity of the market and they increase the supply um, on the market as well. So when we talk about when we talk about uh, some miners actually putting stuff on the market and putting coins on the market, um, we can assume that if the demand doesn't keep up with that with the supply, then the price is gonna drop, right? So this is basically what this multiple measures, and it measures uh, between two areas here. So the green band and the red band. The green band signals that the supply from miners is low, so there's not really much coins being put into the market from miners. And the red band signals a lot of supply coming in from miners, and we can assume that the price comes down after that, right?
So this could be like F2 Pool or some companies like that that are selling off, such as what happened in February. There was a large sell off from the miners.
Yep. So if you look at the chart here, um, you see that when we are in the red zone here, the price, which is the blue ribbon here, the blue lines, the price usually comes down and it plummets right after we have a lot of volume coming in from miners. And it has been true uh, every time in this uh, chart here. So every local top that we have, we saw a decline in the price right after. And the same way goes for the bottom here. Every local bottom that we had, we saw a increase in the price right after. Um, so this usually it doesn't. Uh, it may take a little while for it to actually play out, but it has been true for every local bottom. So yeah, this is looking bullish according to this.
Yeah.
So following up on this, we have some bullish news as well that we can talk about. But especially in the US, we have a article here uh, that says that 650 US banks will soon be able to offer BTC purchases to 24 million customers. Actually, I don't know why my screen is like this, but this is very bullish news. So, what do you guys think about that? There, this will be
Yeah, I think
this
it's
will
really
give
important.
access. Yeah.
And one of the things, that they're doing, is that they're kind of not really curtailing it, but they're avoiding a lot of the regulations part of it by using a third party company, NYDIG, using their custody services. So essentially, they're going to be offering the crypto, but it's going to be provided by a third party, and it's going to be held by a third party. So that way they could avoid any issues with regulations and holding crypto in America.
Yep. Exactly. So yeah, I just highlighted here this part where, but it's gonna give access to a lot of people, and I wonder what's gonna happen after that for the price as well. But this is good. Obviously, crypto adoption is something that we love to see, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, little by little, it is happening, with the PayPals and other apps like Cash App, which allow you to buy crypto. And Cash App is not too bad. I heard from one of my, friends here in New York, they use it to purchase all of their crypto and send it to their wallet or to the exchanges as opposed to Coinbase. And he said that it's actually better fees than Coinbase to purchase your Bitcoin if you're just getting just Bitcoin.
Yes.
Yep.
We just have to be careful with making sure that with the spread of adoption of crypto and Bitcoin throughout, you know, countries like the US, we have to make sure that where you're buying your Bitcoin, you have your private keys. Because if you don't have your private keys, you don't have that Bitcoin. It's not your Bitcoin. So it's important to note that. Because there's
Yeah.
a lot of
Exactly.
exchanges that, you can say, oh yeah, I bought Bitcoin on Robinhood, but Robinhood doesn't let you have your private keys. So it's essentially you're just buying Robinhood stock of Bitcoin or a Robinhood Bitcoin
Exactly.
version. So
Yeah.
you're
But
basically buying the liquidity that you're buying a stake in the liquidity that Robinhood is holding of Bitcoin. So you're not
yeah.
buying actual
Exactly.
Bitcoin that you can transfer out. So it's important to note.
Yeah. And it's gonna be sort of safe because, well, it's being controlled by this by a institution, right? But well, I assume that the customers are gonna have some sort of safety from these assets, especially from the platform. So I think they will be safe when actually doing the transactions as well. But yeah, this is nice. Obviously, it's gonna have some uh, good effect on the crypto space for sure. But yeah, moving on, we also have the NFT market. with some very interesting news as well. And the first one is actually this one by Fox. So this is an article on Cointelegraph, and it says that Fox launches a 100 million creative fund for NFT content creation. Um, so they have announced a 100 million fund under its NFT firm Blockchain Creative Labs, and is set to launch a range of NFT content, digital goods, and assets. So uh, we see that the NFT space is really going.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, the for the past couple weeks, I maybe I saw something on OpenSea that it had the most amount of transactions uh, so far, and so yeah, this is
Yeah,
really going,
and
huh?
also to note here, because you have the creators of, Bob's Burgers and The Simpsons, and the like. So there's a good chance if you have Simpsons fans out there, there may be some Simpsons potentially coming out with some NFTs. So that's something to look out for.
I also wanted to note that we did an article on the YarCryptoNews.com about Jay-Z meeting with Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, to basically discuss possibly, because they're both co-owners of Twitter. I mean, Tidal, the streaming platform for music. So Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey are both co-owners of Tidal, and they want to implement NFT abilities on Tidal for musicians to be able to empower themselves using NFTs. So
Gotcha.
it's really, so if we could just you know if we could just get the word about NFTs out there a little bit, I think we'll be able to certainly empower creatives and artists all over the world.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the important things too is, he has artwork out right now, an NFT. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, so he actually bought allegedly. So allegedly, um, Jay Z purchased the CryptoPunk NFT cartoon. It's a bit cartoon. So um, he allegedly bought it, and people think he bought it because he put it as his Twitter picture,
Mm.
as his Twitter profile image, and
Yeah.
so and the thing sold for 55 ether, which is
Oh
over
my
$100,000. So
man, that's ridiculous.
yeah, and he was meeting with Jack Dorsey this past week. There's pictures of them out in the Hamptons. Jack Dorsey, Beyonce, and Jay, uh, just like walking down a boardwalk. But they're meanwhile, people don't understand that they're talking about a multi-million-dollar deal
Oh wow.
getting ready to happen. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, we may see
That's scary
some.
also, right? Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, I was just saying like we may see a lot more money coming into the NFT space for the next couple months or even years, right? And as I said earlier as well, um, the NFT market it still has to mature a lot if we want to see mass adoption for the music industry and stuff like that. But talking about music industry as well, we saw that Katy Perry was announcing as well the uh, NFC collaboration with Data actually. So Data is a very interesting project, and we saw that on the charts as well, right? At the beginning of the year, Theta was a very good performer on the charts, and a lot of people are very bullish on Theta because it's yeah, it's a very interesting project. But the article says here that the global pop superstar Katy Perry, in collaboration with Theta, announced the launch of Katy Perry NFTs for her fans worldwide. The first digital collectibles of the collaboration will feature content from Katie's upcoming play residency at the brand new Resorts World Las Vegas hotel beginning in December of this year. So yeah, we may see a lot of famous people coming into the NFT world, um, and yeah, we may have a nice effect on the
That's awesome.
the space as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
especially
awesome.
because NFTs, if you think about it, who are going to be more likely to buy NFTs, and these are people who collect and people who want autographs and things like that, the like. And so just owning NFTs of these popular artists, these world-renowned artists, and there's a lot of value in that for the future.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. I some people are skeptical about NFTs and think it's just a fad, but I really think you know it's essentially just empowering the artists at the with no middleman in between. It's like at the source. So if like we start embedding NFTs into streaming platforms for music, um, it's think about it. You're not selling. You're not having your record be distributed by another entity to get to a streaming platform. You're enabled. You're able to make an NFT of your music, and with like Jay-Z is doing his NFT for um, Reasonable Doubt, one of the most legendary rap albums of all time. Reasonable Doubt
yeah,
is being turned into an NFT, right? With Soda Buys, and if that gets on like a streaming platform in an NFT marketplace capacity, that has the potential to get sold in an auction for a lot of money. If depending on how many copies there's going to be of this NFT. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
and the exclusivity factor as well, right? Because uh, also we saw we are seeing currently a huge the there's many people who like collectibles and collectible cards and collecting, so that sort of thing. It's really popular, and I think the NFT concept can bring a lot to these kinds of things as well, and it can uh, sort of be a safe place to a lot of collectors, and a really nice way of artists as well to actually be recognized and earning a lot of uh, money and for their art. So yeah, I think it has a really nice future ahead of us for NFTs for sure.
And we're still in early adoption too, so that's something we have to take note of. These are the pioneers, essentially. A lot of these, artists like Katy Perry and the Jay-Z's creating these first NFTs,
yeah,
because
the
it's hard to
weekend is
say,
one.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to say how this truly will turn out. I mean, look at who else do we have. Was that Mayweather? Was it? He
Yeah,
has
Mayweather.
his Ethereum Red or something like that.
Ethereum Max. A
Max,
lot of
yeah,
celebrities are hopping on the Ethereum Max bandwagon too. It's not. I
yeah.
think it was
So
Kate. It was Kylie Jenner too, who was also promoting Ethereum Max,
and
something like that.
overall, it's great news for the crypto market in general, because it's going to get a lot of people who otherwise wouldn't have found out about crypto, getting into it, through their favorite artists and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I saw that Theon was asking us to check out Band. Yeah, we could do that. Come back into the charts here. Um, so yeah, let me see here. Band to BTC, right? So Band, I don't know much about the project itself, but at the beginning of the year when we had uh, our altcoin season, right? Um, we I used to trade a lot of Band, and we saw that uh, this year we didn't get much action against BTC. Um, but the USDT pair was having a lot of interesting movements. But right now, if I look at this chart here, the first thing that I see is this swing low and this point of support here. Um, it wasn't. Yeah. We can take this line and sort of connect to this point here, but um, I can't say much of how it's gonna go because I don't know much about the project. Um, I can see also another point of possible resistance would be this one right here. Uh, we had a lot of movement here that were significant. So this is resistance now. But I would say the most important area would be this one that I just drew here. Um, and for the price to make a reasonable move against BTC, I would say for us to actually retake this area from these points.
Yeah,
Uh,
we have to flip that back as support.
yeah.
And the
So
first
yeah,
hurdle is going to be when we come back to the point, is it going to be resistance at this point? Because we have not came back to test that zone yet.
exactly. But yeah, I can look a little more into the project itself, so I can give you a little more insight into it. Uh, because right now, what I can do is just look at the price action and look at what it's doing. But yeah, I would say the next major area for us to test would be this sort of 19,000 satoshis. Uh, so yeah, this is interesting to see, and we gotta wait and see how it's gonna play out next, right?
Yeah, I like looking at these BTC pairs charts because the TA on them are usually like very easy to detect what's going on as long as you know the fundamentals of TA because they happen pretty textbook. Whereas opposed to looking at a BTC chart, just of the price action of BTC, it's like you have a lot of volatility, you have a lot of like fake outs happening, and it's tough to call which indicator or which moving average line the price is reacting to. Um,
Exactly.
but on these BTC pair charts, it's quite different.
Yeah, and if we come back to BTC here to see how that pattern that I showed you guys is going, um, it seems like we're getting some rejection by this. So this is the 1 hour, by the way. Uh, we had this sort of resistance here at the top, and the volume apparently wasn't enough to get us out of this zone. Uh, so yeah, but we are still ranging in this area. We maybe do something like this where we come back into this another time and
Yeah,
break it, or if we break to the downside, we may even break the larger sort of channel as well. So
trend line there. Yeah,
exactly, so it's something interesting for you guys to follow for the next few hours. um, but yeah, guys, I think that was all from us. We covered BTC, some alts as well, the levels that we have to watch for this weekend. Keep an eye on these ranges that we talked about, 35K, and the possible bottom here that we have as well. We talked about NFTs and the some on-chain analysis that are a little bullish for the future for us. And as always, guys, if you want to see more of our content, you can access YarCrypto.com. Um, we
And
also
our
have our
news
yeah,
site, yeah.
exactly, YarCrypto news as well. Uh, and we also have our Discord community where we talk all about crypto related stuff. and we have a lot of really nice people there that you can talk to. We are there every day as well, talking about crypto, doing live TA, stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in a community like that, you can please consider checking it out. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching us. Thank you for the comments, and thank you, Sterling and Legal, for another really interesting conversation today.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. It's
Thank
a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you,
It's a
people.
pleasure. All
And
right.
bye bye, guys.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. Take care.